Hello, 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 and welcome to LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 19. Thank you all for joining me. You know the deal, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I appreciate you taking some time to join me on this live stream. And if you're watching it back, I appreciate you too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dan in the chat. Don't worry, Dan. If you go to our YouTube page, you go to the live section. All of these are recorded, so you can check out any one that you missed, or if you just want to catch a certain section of one, it's all there for you. Bill, how you doing? No problem for the cleaning tutorial. Yes, you must keep your laser clean. Obviously, smoke is a particulate. It will attract to the laser itself, and eventually it will get dirty. So you do want to keep it clean. Check out our last live stream if you want to check out cleaning details or the resources where we have some cleaning details there. F8th, same thing. Wishing it was on the weekend. Sorry. Apologies for anybody who doesn't like the time. We do apologize. Maybe we'll do some other stuff another date. But we appreciate you even coming by just to say hi, even if you have to go. Bart, how you doing? Hello, world. Nicholas, hello to you. Bushi? I'm sorry, I butchered that. I'm sorry, but hello. You can type out the phonetic way to pronounce it in the chat. I appreciate that. So what are we doing today? Why are we here? What are we streaming? What are we talking about? First things first, big news. I know some of you guys ask me every time we stream and we talk about the laser. Oh, hey, Greg, how you doing? It's been a long time, Greg. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Greg is one of the OG beta testers for the long mill. We've done plenty of trade shows together. Definitely, it's been a while. Greg, hope you're doing well. So yeah, guys, today, I know you guys always ask me when we're working on the rotary roller. You guys are always asking me when the rotary chuck is coming out, details on the rotary chuck. And if you're keeping up to date with company news, you probably already know this, but the rotary chuck is going to be available for pre-order June 1st. It'll be shipping in August. We can clap it up for the engineering team. You will be hearing more from them. There'll be demo videos. There'll be interviews with the engineers who designed it. It's going to be a whole event. This product is we are very passionate about this product in the back end. And unfortunately, because I do the LaserBeam Live, I get to talk about daily updates and our weekly updates, bi-weekly updates, what's happening. And but this has kind of been, we've been showing tidbits on social media and our blog and all that stuff, but now they are ready to go. We are waiting for production parts to arrive. So we will be talking about that. We'll get into the details. John Walker, how you doing? Good evening. Yeah, we will be talking about the details about that. We'll go into the blog posts, all the details. I can share what little knowledge I know about anything that's not included in the blog post. And then you will be hearing much more from the engineers and the marketing team on all forums, blog, our Instagram, our Facebook, everywhere. You'll be hearing about this because we are very excited as a team to be releasing the Vortex rotary axis. Very cool, very exciting. So we'll get into that, and then after I will show you my updated design for the roller rotary, and I'll give you kind of an update on that project, that product. I'll let you know where we are and how we see things interfacing with the Vortex rotary axis. After that, we'll be trying to do we're going to be making some LightBurn code for the rotary axis because we want to find a way where you can align things with relative ease. So I'll be making some code today that will, hopefully some version of that, of what we're working on today, will make it to a macro for your G-sender so that, when you're setting things up, you press a few buttons, you move your laser to a starting point, and then after that, it will run a few lines, a few circles, something, and then you'll be able to kind of align that to your laser itself. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I kind of want to get more into the workflow of things. So, just imagine you just take the product out of the box, put it on your long mill. How are you actually going to run a project? How are you going to start it? How are you going to zero everything? So first things first is making sure that your actual rotary axis is going to be aligned in the X and Y axis. So we're going to be playing with some stuff today. We're going to be making some code for that, seeing if we can't get things aligned properly and easy to start kind of using it. Yeah, so very excited for that. And then we're going to call it a stream after that. So very excited. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's get right into it. The Vortex Rotary Axis. Vince, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So guys, if you guys aren't following the blog on our CNC Lab or CNC.com website, definitely check that out. It's under the company tab. Just click on blog. This is the most up-to-date update on the Vortex. So we have all sorts of information. Engineers in the back end have been working on this, have been grinding away. They've been very passionate about this product, and I think it really shows in the finished design and the finished product. It really is a beautiful design, you know, quick release tab to slide things so you can get things aligned. You can get things set in your chuck and then slide things forward to actually set things in place. You have a chuck, you have your tool holder right there. Rotary axis, if you're not familiar with the rotary axis, is essentially adding rotation as one of your axes rather than the standard X, Y, Z in the 3 planes of movement. We now kind of add this extra plane when we're essentially replacing our Y-axis so that we can add this plane. And then of course with things like the super long board, you will actually have the ability to do real 4-axis, which is having all XYZ ready and going, and then also rotary. So that is something you'll be able to do with the new super longboard, but just with this, you'll be essentially treating your Y axis as your rotary axis. So it's essentially replacing so that you can make amazing things, really cool, high quality stuff. If you're somebody who likes to give presents away, likes to make stuff for your own home, and likes to maybe you run a business like this, just like the laser, this is how our company thought of this. Just like the laser opened up this whole new avenue of stuff you can make with the long mill, the Vortex will do the exact same thing, but now we're talking cylindrical items, cylindrical jobs, super complex stuff that you can make for yourself, your family, your friends, you can sell, you can do whatever. So that's how I think of it. When we go into pricing for the 30 by 30 or the 12 by 30, you're looking at $600 Canadian or $449 USD. Guys, it's worth the price. You guys know us. We do not price things. We do not price gouge. You know, we make something that is affordable, but also works for us as a company in terms of the labor, the software engineers working on the software side, the hardware engineers working on the hardware side, the packers. So we try to make things equitable for our customer and as well as ourselves as a company. And we landed on a $600 price point for the 30 by 30 option and a $640 Canadian price point, $469 USD price point for the 48 option. Again, you guys can check this out on the blog. We also have a pre-order page up and running. It's not live yet. It will go live June 1st. There'll be 300 pre-orders set for their first batch. So obviously, yeah, Mark C., thank you for the support. You know, when you're ready, we'll be here waiting for you when you're ready. Don't worry about that. Take your time. We're not going anywhere. So yeah, guys, this is like super exciting. This is like a new avenue of the company. Really, don't worry about it, Doug. Thanks for joining nonetheless. Yeah, this is super exciting. For the money, what you're getting is amazing. The stuff that you guys are gonna be able to do, I just can't wait until you guys start posting projects and videos and just checking out all the stuff that you guys make. This is super exciting, and it also kind of emboldens, but also kind of focuses my mind in terms of what I'm actually making, right? So sometimes we can get a bit cross when we're working together and we're thinking about things in a more broader range in terms of how this rotary axis will work with mine and how things will play out. But what it does is like really gives me focus on trying to get a product customer fit, because that is the most important thing. So guys, very excited about this. Check it out. I'm going to be posting this link in the chat. So guys, check that out. Just posted it in the chat. Just keep an eye on the product, even if you're, maybe it's not something that you need right now, but maybe one day the inspiration will spark a need for something like this, and just know that we have it, and it will be available for launch. And depending on how you guys support the product, we may be doing larger batches and get things out faster. So hopefully, as you guys show support, it'll become easier to plan our supply chain over the long term, which means lower lead times. I know some of you guys have been waiting a long time for your long mills, and you guys have seen that, we really do strive to get lead times pretty low, and we really do clear out the queues. So no matter how when you're in the midst of a 4-week wait, a 6-week wait, just know that we do really push to try to get these machines out. And once we do, we try to make sure that the lead times never get too bad. So yes, June 1st pre-order, check it out, June 1st. It's gonna be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, June 1st, check it out. This is gonna be a very exciting product. Start thinking about the types of projects you guys can do, let that inspire you, and hopefully you guys will love it just as much as you love your LaserBeam, or as much as you love your long mill, or any other accessories that you have purchased. This is very exciting for our company, very exciting. So guys, we can move on to, we can chat about, yeah, this is prototype version 3 of the Rotary roller. I'll have to come up with a snappy name if we get to that point, to rival something like the Vortex. I do like that name. It's very strong. It's a very strong kind of brand name. I'm very excited about that. So what changes have I made? Yeah, the old design kind of had the pillars, and I kind of brought it back to version 1 of the design, where we have these almost like plates that house everything in terms of the bearings and the motor. And the reason why I made that change is because I didn't like, on our last stream, I actually I had a working prototype of prototype version 2, and I actually tried to change the, width or the distance between the rollers, but I designed it to be screwed underneath, and I didn't like the workflow of how, you lining things up, and I didn't want to overcomplicate the design. So I kind of took the best of the first design and the second design, and then kind of simplified it into this design for the roller, in terms of this front piece over here comes right off, for you to move everything. And now they move, you move both sides. So in order to change it, you just have to unscrew a couple of socket head cap screws from here, here, here. So 4 corners, and then now you can move the rollers wherever you need, and then all you do is tighten it back up when you're done. I also made this base plate a solid design, so that we can start, so that we could have markers in it. So marker kind of number 1 is like the hole on this side, marker number 2 is the hole on this side, and then marker number 3 is the line here. Thank you, Laser314, I appreciate it. Yes, for me, it kind of did simplify the design and kind of brought everything together, and then it also simplifies the industrial design aspect of things, in terms of how this thing is actually going to get manufactured, and actually eases things up. I'm currently kind of doing a deep dive into kind of what this product, who this product would be for, and if we have enough people in our community that would want it, right? Because our router, our Vortex rotary axis is kind of very robust. It's made for the router, so you can make it work for your laser with relative ease. Nothing too complicated to make it work with your laser. So now we're trying to think, and we're trying to come up and get as much data from you guys. So I'll probably be putting out a survey to kind of, I'll probably build a mock-up product description, product page for this, and then we have our pre-order page for the Vortex. And then I kind of want to just send it out to you guys and see, do you guys need this? right? I don't want to make anything you guys don't need. It was fun developing, and it's always fun prototyping and making things. But there are tons of designs that our engineers and myself work on that don't end up making it to the light of day because we don't feel like enough people want it in our community, or that it would provide enough value to justify the product itself. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm almost like taking a step back, like after I finish this redesign. Oh, okay, Bill, that's good to know. But don't like, well, I'll be sending out, I'll be getting a survey out there, maybe by, yeah, I would like to get a survey out there as soon as possible so that you guys can let me know directly, because we know we have a very wide customer base. Some of you guys, or a lot of you guys will love the Vortex, and then some of you guys don't have a need for it, especially at its price point. Although for its value, I believe it's an amazingly priced product for the quality, the value, the ease of use with everything in our ecosystem. I think it's worth the value. But let's say you guys only want to do rotary stuff for your laser. You guys might not need a chuck rotary, right? So this is where this product comes in, which kind of informs me to kind of keep the price as low as possible for this product, because we don't want to compete with ourselves, even though these are two different products. We don't want to skew somebody's decision making entirely on price. We'd like it to be need, and then you think about price. After you think about what you need, then you think about price. So do you guys need this? Do you guys need the Vortex? Those are the questions we need to answer before kind of going forward any farther, and then solidifying a design, and then essentially ordering samples and production quantities from our manufacturers, then putting up a new product page or putting up a new pre-order page for this product itself. So that's the information that I'm going to be digging from you guys. So the current longboard will not. They have created a switcher so that you don't have to unplug anything in order to switch from using the Y-axis to using the rotary axis. So they have designed a switcher for the product, but it's the super longboard that will actually be able to handle all four axes at once. Good evening, George. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, guys, you guys let me know. Obviously, let me know if this is a viable option. I know it's something that people would want, but we do want it to be something that adds enough value that makes it kind of worth all the kind of blood, sweat, and tears on the back end of this thing. And if not, then that's okay too. We can always release it as an open source design, something that you guys can laser yourselves, and maybe we can do a kit. You get guys, where the options are open at this point. We're taking a step back to kind of see where we want to place this in the market, if we want to continue to go to market with this product as well as the Vortex. So yeah, don't worry. If you guys sign up for our email letter, our blog, I will be getting a survey out there so that we can, for the people who are interested in rotary stuff, we want to kind of dig a little bit deeper and find out, is there a viable market for this product along with the Vortex? And I do believe there is. I just think we need to come at it at a point of value. So, keeping things as simple as possible is kind of what I like, because it keeps costs down in terms of how we manufacture things and how we design things. Simplicity equals low cost, and then our quality is never going to dip. So, the lower the cost, and we never cut quality to lower the cost. We just try to manufacture things in a very efficient way. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something very low cost for this. If this does end up going to market, I believe that the way for you guys is going to be very low cost for people who only want to do rotary things with their laser. That is kind of the customer I'm kind of pointing at. But after we put out a survey, things will get a lot clearer. How will the drive belt work on this design? So there is there is an idler or a tensioner here for the design. Ron, you can check out our blog post. We did post one about the super longboard, so check that out. It's going to have all the information you need. Greg, we appreciate you. Take care. Let me try to navigate for you guys so you guys can see. So if you're interested in the super longboard, just go to the blog on our website. Yeah, Jim, that is very right. Like, you would be Laser is super simple to use, you know, right? Like when you're doing a router job, you don't have to think about work holding. You can just throw something on, you know, line it up, frame it, and then go. So this rotary is the same way for laser where like, you know, you don't really have to do much as you would need to do this. This, you know, you run code in order to line up the holes and everything gets aligned, and then you know, you have to make sure you're starting at your zero and everything. The roller rotary would be a much simpler process, just as most things are for laser products. So guys, I forgot who asked about the super long board, but if you check out, if you just click on the blog, we should be able to scroll, or should be able to find the super longboard post. So new products, I'll assume it's probably there. So here, so it is under, you can click under new products, and then you can click on first look at the super longboard. You can get all the details there. I'm not sure if we had a timeline on here. I didn't memorize this page. So yeah, check it out. Jack in the shop, our laser goat over here. Thank you for joining us. Don't worry about being late. But yes, if you are interested in that, guys, always check out the blog. Just everything gets updated there. You know, other than the LaserBeam Live, which is kind of my new update vehicle, everything else gets updated through the blog. So definitely check that out. So guys, this is what the base plate of, I guess let me show you guys the new design here in real life instead of on the 3D model. So just get some slack on the cable. So you can see this is our current design. As you can see, I had to, I didn't have the right size belt, so I had to zip tie for now. But motor, 1-to-1 pulley ratio to our two rollers. And then we have a tensioner here. Allows things to stay nice and tensioned. These two pieces pop off. So I actually had a customer who had a similar designed rotary and who emailed me about some stuff that he didn't like about his rotary. And he didn't like that the rollers itself didn't come above the frame. So what I actually did was I tried two different designs, one above and then one that like is slightly lower than the frame here. And I kind of like it, but you know, it does add some other complications to things that I will have to rough out during testing. But also accompanying this, it will, you know, ship with an idler. Whoa! Sorry about that. This is an active shop, so tools are kind of always in the background, so don't worry. Sorry about that. If your audio, that did scare me. I'm not gonna lie, and you guys caught that in 4K. So I almost grabbed my wallet. I thought I was being mugged. So yeah, we do have an idler, which does kind of scary movie. Yeah, no, I don't do scary movies. I'll never give my time to purposely be scared, you know, unless I'm at like a haunted house with friends or stuff like that. So yes, I avoid everything scary. So I guess that's karma for me, trying to avoid scary things in life. It's always going to creep up on you. But yeah, here's the idler that allows you to kind of use the entire, you know, usable length of the long mill in terms of products. If you can get, you know, in terms of like balancing the weight so that you can do longer items. So with our Vortex, we were able to essentially cut out a baseball bat using the Vortex, which is amazing. It's like so beautiful, and it was like so cool to watch it work. But let's say you wanted to engrave something like a baseball bat, something that has some weight to it and is super long. That's what this is for. So things like wine glasses with a stem, so you need something to kind of prop it up, and things like a baseball bat or anything that just eclipses the length of this product itself. You still have a chance to be able to engrave it if you can balance it right on this. You can kind of make make sure that you are still kind of rolling and not losing any friction there, and are able to kind of, you know, you're not going to be limited by size in terms of length, in terms of what you can actually use. So I have a few different designs at different heights. I think I'll buy a bunch of different products that I would want to laser engrave, or customers would want to laser engrave. I think that'll be part of the survey so that I can start testing a lot of these common items that you guys might want to use on something like this. And then we'll just get at it, because I think this, it's good. The design, the finished design, if we get there, is going to be a variation of this. Anybody here? Oh, hey, it's Andy. You want to say hi? Sure. Welcome, hello. Special guest Andy.
Just passing through. Don't mind me.
You scared me. That's two. I got scared twice in this stream.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Andy's always around, working on something. Should be at home relaxing.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab dinner in a bit.
Nice.
Enjoy the stream.
Thank you, guys. Are you enjoying the stream? Let's get W's in the chat for Andy. Guys, that's 2 in 1 stream. Hopefully I don't get scared again. I kind of forgot what we were talking about, but let's get back into it. So the idler is for length. We don't want to be limited on length for the rotary. I do believe that this is going to be the bones of the final design. We will just be working on more industrial design, making sure things are very easily manufacturable, because I do anticipate the price point being reasonably low while keeping the quality the same. I do believe that that's kind of the opening for this product in the market, but you guys will let us know that when we kind of get more information via survey and just talking to you guys. It's always good to do the live streams, because I get kind of one-to-one in terms of people that are interested in the laser, and I get to kind of see what you guys are having. Yeah, he's he's like, why is the air compressor not working? Oh man. This is an eventful stream. I'm happy. So yes, as you can see, one last thing on the bottom, you can see the opening, the slit, and then there's 2 holes, one here, one here. I chose opposite sides because, you know, if you were able to, you know, line up a hole here, line up a hole here, you kind of were able to shimmy it there, you would kind of be all right. You would be pretty good. So I have an idea where, you know, if you want to line up this product on your wasteboard, you would just use a macro in order to kind of ensure things are lined up. Whether that means you're engraving, you're moving your product and then engraving the kind of map onto your wasteboard, and then now you have something that lines up quite well. Or, you know, maybe we can get it to a point in the focus where, you know, 10% power, and dip switch 1, so that you can shine a light slightly out of focus to get things to line up, but it won't actually burn your wasteboard. So those are kind of like the 2 options for me in terms of lining things up. But I kind of wanted to just play with some LightBurn, because it's been a while. We've been kind of focusing on, like, you know, company news and a whole bunch of other stuff, and design and that stuff that we haven't actually played in LightBurn in quite a little bit. So I do kind of want to do that. So what I essentially did was I took this flat data from our sketch in Fusion 360, and I downloaded it as an DXF, which, you know, if you use Fusion 360. Dumb question, will I need G-sender Edge to run the rotary, and how do I get it? You will need G-sender to run the rotary. For G-sender, obviously, features get pushed to G-sender Edge first to try them out, but, you know, once we actually have a product out there, those features will essentially make it to G-sender. So as of right now, if you have your own rotary, or you just want to play around with the software, there is a G-sender Alpha that has rotary capability in it, but that will eventually make it to G-sender Edge, I believe, and then eventually make it to G-sender itself. If you're looking where to get G-sender or G-sender Edge, just go to our website, go to software, click on G-sender, and then just click right here for G-sender edge, and then you can download here for regular G-sender. Yeah. So Ron asks, what is the maximum diameter of objects that can be engraved? Give me 1 second. I have a rough idea, but nothing concrete yet until the designs are finalized. Maybe I can get that to you at another time because I don't have the link open right now to tell you that. But it'll be, obviously you're limited by essentially the height. Yeah, I feel like 4 inches will be fine. What we have to figure out is essentially an equation of how much size you have on the actual rotary, and then how much size you have on the height. So obviously, I'll be making an adapter for the laser mount to raise it, so that you can actually get higher or larger items in it. But get back to me with that one. If you come to our next live stream, I'll have that question for you, or I'll have that answer for you. So yeah, join us in our next live stream, or send me send me an email. Send me an email, and I can get you those details when I'm not on stream. So LightBurn does support Rotary, but we will be processing Rotary code in G-sender. Just because we will have more control over the output if we're the ones doing the processing on G-sender. I already know how LightBurn is processing, roller software. I know how they're processing it, and it kind of mucks up our visualization in G-sender. And so we'd rather process it on our end, so that we can do things kind of the way that works with our software. And then if you would like to use LightBurn to process your software, you can do that independent of us and then just export the code. The only thing is like your visualization might not. So Jim, that is a question where, depending on the size of your object, you will lose the ability to use the 3-element, the G7 and the G8 lenses, because of the focal height will just be too large at a certain combination of unit height, project height. So, your stock material, whatever you're loading up into the rotary roller, at a certain point, you will lose the ability to actually gain enough height for your lens. So I know VCarve does support Rotary, but yes, so that is the software that we list in our pre-order page, or pre-order page, that we will be supporting that. So yes, our engineers will be available to help you in terms of that. So essentially, what I kind of want to do is I want to run this. These lines, this DXF file, in the space of my laser, so that all I have to do is kind of line it up visually, because I don't mind marking up my waste material. But then again, I'd also like to do a run where I can line it up at 1, and then I can watch it kind of do the job, and then I can make sure that we're all in line visually, right? So I'll be able to see where it is, but my goal is to get it to a place where it won't actually mark up your wasteboard, right? So I'm going like, I would drop this to like 10% power, and then maybe I'm going to use dip switch 1, and then obviously I won't even be focused on the waste material because my laser will be too high, because I'm using the G2 lens. So I'm hoping that I can get it to a point where it might be able to fit, or I can increase the sizes of these holes and slits, and then we can visually watch it, but it won't actually burn our material. And then obviously the final product, our base plate, will be either steel or probably a bent steel. So we won't have any issues as long as you're wearing your safety glasses. You won't have any issues of it if the laser hits the metal instead of you're in the hole, right? You'll just be able to line things up. So yeah, like I don't need this, I don't need the outline. I just need these three features and then what I want to do in these three features. So I do kind of want to keep this. I do want to group this. Dave, I'm not sure if we're working on that or not, but I have heard rumblings of that the x-axis is designed so that, you know, in terms of its specifications and the engineering behind it, it would support a longer x-axis. We just don't, it's all about like what philosophy we want when we're releasing new sizes of machines, whether that fits with the philosophy of our company. So that's kind of where where some of the engineers are thinking in that vein. So I'm lining things up based on this. See, I just learned something really quick. I would want to get rid of this so that my start point is always going to be this circle. So right now we're not working on extension on the z-axis. I'm more working on a plate so that you can raise your laser itself. But yes, doesn't mean it's not a possibility in the future. So essentially I want I want to use the laser test tool in G-sender to set my 0 for the hole, but I want my 0 to be the center of this circle right here. Right, so I want my center to be this circle right here. I will physically line it up, use the laser test function to make sure it's in the center or somewhat the center of the circle, and then I would want it to essentially do a few runs of like maybe a smaller circle. Or, you know, we can do a crosshair and then we can have that run twice. Right, so I'm going to select these two lines. I'm going to select a different color and then I'm going to up the pass count. I'm going to change the power to like 10% because we don't want to burn our waste material, at least not yet. And then I want a line. I want a line from kind of, no, I kind of want it to be centered. I want it to be centered here. And then yeah, and then I want this to also, this will be the same blue, so it'll run twice. Oh, what happened here? Let's move that, make that a crosshair. So we have the line there, and then we can do one here. So what I want is the blue, and I want it to run twice. I want it to do a crosshair once, and then I can kind of manually adjust it. It'll do a crosshair twice, and then it should move either to this line or to this. I think it might go off. I will change this to a different color so that I can control what it's actually doing. So I want this to be a different color so that I can change the order in which it all runs. So, you know, maybe I'll also change this so I can control. Okay, so now I get to decide the order in which everything is working. So let's do 25 speed, 10 power, 25 speed, 10 power, 2 passes, 25 speed, 10 power, 2 passes, 25 speed, 10 power, 2 passes. So, George, thanks for joining. You take care. So what I want is I want this to start right here. So I believe it's 5. The X position is 5. So I should be able to go -5. Oh. Okay, so the whole design is moving, so it's still grouped. That's what I was a little bit scared of. Okay, so should be able to go -5. And then this is a 3-inch circle, so I should be able to do -1.5. That gets me exactly at my starting point, so that I can manually put the laser here. It will go 1, 2, blues first. Then it will go to the other side. It will go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I can kind of make sure that that's all lined up. And then the confirmation that it's all lined up is that this red line should be in the circle of my gap without even having to try. So what I would change is I'd probably just make everything here a lot larger. Yeah. And then once it finishes, once it's all done, we kind of do want it to return. So I'm going to remove the output on the orange because I don't need it to do anything with the orange. I just use those as I use that as a frame to create everything. So once it goes here, we kind of don't want it to change the our position. We kind of want to end the job here without returning to home, but we'll leave that for now. I want to just get to testing, so I'm going to save G-code. I'm going to save it as rotary axis v3.1 base frame version 1. I'm going to copy that so I don't have to type that in again if we need a version 2. Dave, thanks for joining us. You have a great time, great evening, afternoon, night, or morning, wherever you're at. We appreciate it. You have a good one. So we can head over to G-sender now. And I'm going to open up RA3. Boom. So as you can see, it's going to do a crosshair here. So it didn't actually, okay, so I have to play with the origin in LightBurn. So I'm going to use current position rather than user origin. And I'm going to resave the same code. And I'm going to replace. I'm going to see if that fixes our issue here. It does not. So I'm going to go absolute coordinates this time, as I would like it to start right at that corner. Ron, enjoy your steak. Appreciate you for joining. One or more shapes or crossing the edge. Let's see if this breaks our code here. It might. It might not capture anything outside when we use absolute coordinates. Anything outside that, yeah, it's not going to capture. Okay. So let's figure out what we need to change in order to get what we want out of this. Hey, Bucky, we're playing with our new rotary axis, and we're trying to find a way to align things using code, which will eventually be made into a macro for setting up and aligning your rotary roller axis. So this is our start point here, but we want to make it here. So I could cut the edge here. I could probably get rid of edit nodes. Add tabs, edit nodes. So I do kind of want to I'm going to ungroup this. And I'm just going to reduce it to match here. Very cool stuff, Jack. I'm also going to reduce the length here so that everything starts, and then I can go back to user origin, boom, 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 save the G code, and then should be all good. That should fix our issue. It just won't go the whole length of the slit. It'll stop a little bit shy of the edge, but I think that'll be good enough. So boom. Again, okay. So when I zero it all, we need to start essentially at the corner of the circle. So this is going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll make it work for now. I would like to just get this running. So let's get our glasses on. Apologies if it gets a little bit loud. I'm going to go on dip switch 1. All right, got my glasses on. Always wear your safety glasses. And we got 2%. So I'm going to move. I'm going to move this laser. And because I already unplugged the y-axis, I'm just going to be moving the rotary instead of moving the y-axis, just to be lazy. And then I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to try to get it kind of around where I need it to go before running the code. So I'm going to turn the laser on. And I'm going to screw it so that it's somewhat of a beam. Obviously it's not perfect because not at the right height. But I think I have it pretty good. So I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to run this code. Yes, I do need the I do need the X and Y motors for this, so I actually do have to unplug the rotary axis. So I'm just going to turn off my machinery here just so no unnecessary danger. So for this, I'm going to plug back in my Y axes. So this is something you won't have to do with your Vortex because of the tool that we have. But I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to reconnect. I'm going to turn our driver back on. And we should be able to run the code and just see what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to stop it. Okay, so I didn't zero anything out. So guys, always zero out your stuff. Always zero out your stuff before starting a job. I'm going to turn the laser back on and I'm going to line things up again. I'm going to turn it off and then I'm going to zero it all and then I'm going to start the job. So that did not do what we wanted it to do, and I think I know why. Let's return to 0. And let's make sure that we don't have our rotary enabled. And I'm going to check our firmware. So we did change this. So I'm going to restore default. And then I'm going to re-enable the laser. So because we changed the $sign 101, everything was kind of out of whack. So I'm going to enable that. I've reset our firmware. I enabled our laser again. But I need to double check our firmware. So this 0 or maximum 255, 0, and then enabled. So enabling things should have saved that already, but I kind of was being reductive. So let's start that job again. Let's see what happens. Actually, it was way too fast. So I'm going to, should be, let's do 5. Let's do 5 millimeters per second. That's what I'm referencing. And let's do 5. And then let's resave the G code once again. Let's replace. And then let's run that one more time. Let's zero everything out. Our Y doesn't want a 0. So that's where it wanted to 0. I don't know why, but let's get that back somewhere where we want it. Let's zero it all. Let's test the laser. And then let's run the job. So we're actually off by a little bit. So now it's in line. I physically saw that it was out of line by where it wanted to do the straight line. And I physically had to move it so that it would be centered. So now I'm kind of thinking that the line is probably more useful for actively changing in the middle while you're trying to line things up. And then if I turn it on, I should be. So yeah, so I don't like how that, like I feel like I needed more information around the edges where the two circles were. Yeah, okay. So I do like, I want to add more information. So maybe it even is like a slight line, like a crosshair on each corner, right? Rather than a circle. Like increase the wall width and then create like a line so that you can kind of line things up there. I'll keep playing with it. Before we go, I'm just gonna line this up on the, I'm gonna focus it on my waste material. So I'm gonna focus the laser on my waste material and then I'm just gonna mark it on the waste material. And then I'll work on this because although some of you guys might not mind marking your waste material, but if you're constantly changing positions, you don't want to have like 70. You don't want to have a bunch of different marks. You kind of want something to do. So maybe the macro that we're working with is actually maybe you manually move it to one spot, you manually move it to the second spot, and then it does the line automatically to tell you that you're in line, right? So maybe that might be the way to go moving forward, where it's like manual, you set that, other side manual, you set that, and then once it's done, it just does the line to show you that yes, you are in line, and then it stays in the center so that you can change your Z, but then you no longer have to change your X, or yeah, you no longer have to change your Y-axis. So that's kind of what's coming to mind right now. But for now, I'm just going to laser a frame onto the waste material so that I always know for testing where to line things up for now. So I am going to redo the code and just jack up the power a bunch. So I'm going to switch to dip switch 5. I'm going to do 15 and 100. So 15 and 100. 15 and 100. And then I'm going to drop the passes down on everything, down to one pass, save. I'm going to save this as V2. And then I'm going to let that run. I'm going to focus it on my actual waste, on my material, my base, my board. And then we'll call it a stream. I'm going to go ahead and lower my Z-axis. Oh. My Z-axis is in reverse, I don't know why. But I'm going to make sure my height is good. That's good. And then I'm just gonna make sure I'm focused. So there we go. And then I'm just going to run this job. Thank you guys. Like up the stream, like up the stream. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. All right, now let's get this thing out of the way. And now I'm actually gonna get around so I can properly line this up. And now I can find that first crosshair, put that at the center. Make sure the line's there. And then that's how I'm gonna line up my rotary for now. But I'll continue to work on different ways that we can handle this, things that we can include in G-sender. But you know, things are just taking a little bit longer than I expected. I thought I was gonna breeze through this product, but you know, it's been good having the support of the team so that we can kind of step back, take a look at things, so that the next time we're sprinting forward to finish this product, it's with our customer, with the right customer in mind, and we can move with a lot more speed, knowing who we're trying to sell to. So guys, it has been a very eventful stream. Go check it out. If you're looking for a Chuck-style rotary axis, we have the Vortex. Go check out the pre-order page right now, June 1st, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can place your pre-order, 300 in the first batch, and we'll see how the next batch goes, depending on how much you guys support the product, how much you guys like the product. That's very exciting. Number 2, new design. I feel like a couple of you guys in the chat said you guys really like this design. And honestly, things work a lot easier in terms of this design. It was easier to get everything to where it needed to be. So I'm excited. I think the final design will be a variation of this. I probably said that in the past, but I really mean it this time. And then what else? Finally, we got to get back to our roots in LightBurn and screw things up and mess with things and change the file 17 times before running it. And yeah, that's the best. So it was nice to get back to that, and we'll continue to do that, but also continue to develop. So guys, please like this video before you go. Before you go, please like this video. I appreciate it. Give it a like, smash it, like it, do it up. Even if you didn't enjoy this live, like it anyways. If you're watching this later and a playback, like this video. Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, everybody who joined. I will keep you guys updated on the progress of this. I will keep you guys updated on the survey that I'm looking to get out to you guys. So yeah, let's wrap this thing up. Whether it was for you, it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you joining me. This is LaserBeam Live, show number 19 for CNC Labs. My name is Ikenna, and I will catch you in 2 weeks on the next LaserBeam Live. Like the video. Have a good night.